May 18th, 1980, southwestern Washington state. It is 8:32 in the morning. The largest landslide in recorded history is about to happen in 15 seconds. A blast hotter than boiling, moving at hundreds of miles an hour. 57 people are about to die, and most of them are standing in places they were told were safe. But the mountain is not the only villain of this story. Mount St. Helens did not ambush anyone. For 2 months it warned the world, in earthquakes and steam and a swelling so violent you could measure it by the day. The scientists watching it understood almost exactly what was coming. The tragedy of Mount St. Helens is not that the eruption was unforeseeable. It's that the line drawn to keep people safe was drawn in the wrong place. To understand how that happened, you first have to understand the bulge. In March of 1980, after more than a century of silence, the mountain woke up. Earthquakes, ash, a crater opening at the summit. Then the geologists noticed something far more alarming than the ash. The entire north face of the mountain was pushing outward. Magma was rising inside it, and with nowhere to go, it was inflating the side of the volcano like a blister. That bulge grew at up to 5 feet a day, not a year, a day. A young U.S. Geological Survey scientist named David Johnston understood what that meant. A mountain doesn't swell sideways unless something inside is under enormous pressure, looking for the shortest way out. He called the volcano a powder keg with the fuse already lit, and he argued that when it failed, it might not blow upward at all. It might blow sideways. So a danger zone was drawn, a red zone around the mountain that the public could not enter. The problem was where the lines went. The boundaries were a negotiation between the science, the property owners who wandered back to their cabins, and the timber company that owned thousands of acres on the mountain's flanks and wanted its crews still cutting. The zone that resulted hugged the mountain far too tightly on the side that mattered most. Loggers worked within miles of the summit. Campers and homeowners sat just beyond the line, believing the line meant something. And here is where nature stops being the story. On the morning of May 18th at 8:32, a magnitude 5.1 earthquake shook the bulge loose all at once. The entire north face of the mountain, nearly a cubic mile of rock, broke away and avalanche down the valley. It was and remains the largest landslide ever recorded on Earth, and by sliding away it uncorked the volcano. All that pressurized gas and magma suddenly unsealed, exploded out through the gap, sideways exactly as Johnston had feared. A scalding cloud of gas, ash, and rock tore across the landscape at hundreds of miles an hour, low and flat and merciless. It did not climb over the ridges, it went through them. In minutes it flattened 230 square miles of old-growth forest, laying century-old trees down in rows like matchsticks, all pointing away from the mountain. David Johnston was at an observation post 6 miles away, a spot thought to be safe. It was not nearly far enough. He had just enough time to radio the words that became the signature of the disaster. "Vancouver! Vancouver, this is it!" The blast reached him seconds later. His body was never found. Above Spirit Lake, an 83-year-old lodge owner named Harry Truman had refused every plea to leave. He had lived at the foot of the mountain for 50 years, and he would not abandon it now or his 16 cats. The landslide buried his lodge under scores of feet of rock and debris. He was never seen again. When it was over, 57 people were dead. Scientists, loggers, campers, photographers, a stubborn old man. Most of them had been outside the official red zone. The column of ash rose 15 miles into the sky and fell across 11 states. Mount St. Helens did not catch us off guard. The instruments saw it. The bulge announced it. One scientist all but called the shot and paid for being right with his life. The mountain was as honest as a mountain can be. The danger had been measured to the day. The only thing drawn wrong was the line that was supposed to keep people on the safe side of it. If you made it this far, thank you. The mountain is quiet now, the forests are slowly coming back, and the blast zone is studied to this day. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.